Okay, first story we have this week is, we had the 24th of July this week,
Yes.
which I totally forgot about until I read this article.
Because we were at camp.
We were at camp. Also, we don't do much here to celebrate, but
No.
It's a big deal in Utah.
It is.
So there was an article released by the Church News about how they celebrated in Utah this year. They had a parade through Salt Lake, as they do, I guess.
It's called the Days of 47 parade.
Yeah, I've never lived in Utah really during the 24th. I was only there for college. Did you ever go to this parade when you lived there?
Went to the parade, but let me tell you what I did go to when I was there that I thought was so cool. So in order to have people not doing last minute parade floats, they make you finish your parade float about 3 or 4 days before the parade. And they haul your parade float to a convention center, and all of the parade floats are on display at the convention center.
We used to do that in Portland for the Rose Parade.
So you could go see the floats because I'm not one to want to go stand in a line in a crowd for a parade. I will watch it on TV, love a parade on TV, but again, you can't really see them up close and personal. So it's so fun to go see the floats up close and personal.
Okay.
And so I have done that. But every year they have a grand marshal of the parade. And they also have, you have to be a member of Daughters of the Utah Pioneers. They have a like a beauty pageant contest. So I can't remember what the title is.
Like a Days of 47 Princess
a Days of 47 Queen or something like that. But you have to be part of the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers. So you have to have some link to pioneer ancestry that came into the Utah Valley.
So the Grand Marshal this year was Elder Bednar.
Yes.
And this article had pictures of him and his wife in the lead float car.
Well, they were in a Jeep, an open top Jeep.
Yes, the lead car waving to everybody. I did a double take. You said you did too.
I did too.
Because I did not recognize him. I was like, that face looks familiar. Because it was the first thing I saw when I opened the article before I had read who the Grand Marshal was. I was like, oh, that face looks really familiar. He is in a cowboy hat, jeans, and like a button-up
plaid button-down shirt.
Not what we were used. It was really the hat that was throwing me off. I was like, oh my goodness, that's Elder Bednar. I just have never seen him that way. I really was shocked because I thought that they were required to wear their suits to everything.
Well,
especially like a public event.
I thought so too. And Sister Bednar was sitting next to him, and she also had on jeans, and she had on a white button-down shirt,
like a bandana.
Yeah, and a little bandana around her neck. But it was just, I didn't even recognize him. No. I don't think I have ever seen Elder Bednar not in a white shirt, because sometimes they won't have their tie on if they're out visiting in a really hot country and not maybe doing a touristy thing,
right?
And not on,
but still
not on a church assignment,
dress pants and a button-up shirt.
Exactly,
usually.
Yeah, exactly. Or occasionally, I've seen Elder Uchtdorf maybe in a polo shirt, but he still has dress pants on,
right?
Anyway, so if I had,
and it was the hat. The hat really threw me.
Well, it did, because you didn't see that coiffed of hair that he has.
He looks like a different person.
He looked like a different person. Like, seriously, if he'd been walking down the street, I'm not sure I would have recognized him.
I know.
It would have, it's freaky.
I kind of want to see all of them in their regular clothes. We've talked about this before.
And then it makes me wonder, did he own those jeans and a shirt? Was that in his closet?
Or did they have to give it to him so he looked like a normal person?
Because they were like, dude, a suit and tie for the parade.
You got to look like a normal.
It's really not going to work.
I don't know. It was fascinating, though.
It was.
So apparently there were 40 floats in the parade, and 20 of them were designed and built by Wards and Stakes. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this is a tradition.
Exactly.
And they're used to it.
That because I had seen the floats on display.
Right. I'm sure they're used to it, and it's a tradition. Yeah. But really, if you were like, okay, your next assignment is to build a float, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
So
exactly. And these are like, when I've seen the floats, they are legit, like, they know what they're doing, building sort of a thing.
I'm sure they are.
It's not just somebody grab a flatbed trailer and we'll throw some bales of hay and call it a float.
I'm sure they are. We're nothing if not overachievers out here in the Western United States.
Exactly.
Anyway, so that was a fun little article on how they celebrate in Utah.
Yes.